First story. Am I the a-hole to telling my girlfriend that we should break up if she wants to kick my niece out? My brother died in a car accident 2 months ago. After he died, I took responsibility of his daughter, but for some reasons, my girlfriend doesn't like it. For some backstory, my brother and I both raised my niece together. He had her when he was only 17 and I was 19 back then. Her mom left both her daughter, now 14, and my brother, and basically just disappeared. I think she was 23 or 24. Anyway, my brother took responsibility of his child, and I helped him raise her. My brother would often joke about that. She's our daughter. God damn, I miss him so much. I spoiled her a lot. My brother restricted her. He didn't let her eat chocolates or buy her games. But she would always come to her uncle, and I would spoil her. I miss those days. Anyway, after my brother died, I took my niece under my care. I am still going through legal guardianship paperworks, but yeah, I am going to raise her. Problem for me is that my girlfriend told me yesterday she doesn't like that my niece is living with us. She said she doesn't want her responsible for a 14-year-old, and she is messing with our love life. I asked her what she meant by that. My girlfriend said she's been sleeping in our bed. I said that is a normal grieving process for a child who lost her only parent. There is nothing wrong with her hugging me or finding comfort in me. She said she doesn't want her to sleep with us. I said it's only been 2 months. Give her some time. If rubbing her back or massaging her head helps her fall asleep instead of crying, then that is good for her. What would she say if we had a daughter and focused on comforting our daughter instead of focusing on you? She said that would be different because she would be our daughter. I got angry and said that if she doesn't like my niece staying with me until she finds her peace, then we should break up. I told her currently I am her safe place, and she's practically my daughter. I raised her, I share blood with her, and now she needs me. My girlfriend started crying. I comforted her and said I am sorry for being so direct, but I found what she said a bit offensive and rude. To help her, I will hire a maid, but please give her some time and show empathy towards a child. My girlfriend has been angry at me since yesterday. She only talks to me when I talk to her, and she's completely ignoring my niece, and my niece is asking me if she said something wrong to my girlfriend. I said she's just stressed. But I am wondering why my girlfriend is reacting like this. Did I offend her? I don't really want to break up with her, but if I have to choose between them, I will choose to help my niece for now. Comment A. Honestly, there is no saving the relationship. Even if girlfriend backs down and accepts your niece to your face, she will make your niece feel unwelcome and unwanted when you aren't around. From this point forward, your girlfriend shouldn't be trusted alone with your niece. Yep, she's already openly icing the kid out. Things are only going to escalate from here, and OP needs to keep a very close eye on the situation and make sure that that niece knows that she can tell him if girlfriend starts mistreating her behind his back. Though personally, I'd just end things and be done with this woman. Comment B. OP, the sad reality is that your girlfriend just told you that she doesn't want this life, and that is going to make her resent your niece, who is now your daughter, and which will lead to her treating your daughter like crap. And I mean, she already is treating her like crap. It's time to accept reality. Your girlfriend does not want to help raise your daughter. Again, it's time to start seeing her as your daughter because you are a single dad now. She's not all in, which means you have to be all out. Your daughter comes first, now and forever. It's time you accepted that. Not the a-hole here. You would be the a-hole here if you continued this relationship, though. I agree. Your niece is now your priority, and if your girlfriend can't accept that, it's time to move on. She needs you. And if your girlfriend isn't all in, it's not going to work. Your niece comes first, not the a-hole. Comment C. My condolences on the loss of your brother. I am glad your niece has you. As far as your post, well, she said she doesn't want her responsible for a 14-year-old, and she is messing with our love life. I asked her what she meant by that. My girlfriend said she's been sleeping in our bed. I said that is a normal grieving process for a child who lost her only parent. There is nothing wrong with her hugging me or finding comfort in me. You have two issues here. Your girlfriend did not in any way date you or move in with you, with the understanding that she would be expected to become a de facto mom to a 14-year-old girl. This whole change is as much of a shock to her as it is to you. Yes, you want to raise your niece. You love her. But to expect that your girlfriend is just going to be okay with becoming mom to a teenager without even being asked is very unrealistic. She said she doesn't want her to sleep with us. I said it's only been 2 months. Give her some time. If rubbing her back or massaging her head helps her fall asleep instead of crying, then that is good for her. Here again, you are expecting your girlfriend to just accept that a teenage girl is now sleeping in your bed. To you, she's a kid who needs comfort. To your girlfriend, this is a 14-year-old girl that you are touching, kissing, cuddling, and sleeping with. In her bed. It would freak me out too, honestly, even if I understood your reasoning. But I am wondering why my girlfriend is reacting like this. Did I offend her? I don't really want to break up with her, but if I have to choose between them, I will choose to help my niece for now. I think you are grieving just as much as your niece. So much so that you are totally incapable of looking at this from your girlfriend's side. She's not being evil. She's just being human and honest. And so are you. Sometimes fate breaks things, and it can't be helped or understood. I think your relationship is likely irretrievably broken, but it can't be helped. Your niece needs you and is going to need you for the rest of your life. But be prepared that your girlfriend will hardly be the only woman who doesn't want to be a de facto mom to a teenage girl. You and your niece need to get into some grief counseling. And dude, your 14-year-old niece needs to be able to sleep in her own bed after 2 months. Not the a-hole. Thank you for a common sense and level-headed response. Those were my exact thoughts. If the niece was 4 years old, that is totally different than 14 years old. The girlfriend is not prepared to be a motherly figure to her and likely feels she is being pushed out of her relationship. OP, you and your niece are not a-holes and are grieving a terrible loss. Conversely, I don't think your girlfriend is the a-hole either. She is trying to navigate this situation as well. She isn't going to have the level of grief you and your niece are. She isn't navigating these waters very well, but her feelings are valid. I think you both are having a difficult time communicating through these emotions and cannot see the other side of things. Best wishes for you all through this difficult time. Update: I am so surprised that my post blew up and so many people dropped their opinions and thoughts and still commenting on my post. I thank you all. And those who were asking, I have been with my girlfriend for 3 years. I also confess that I am in the wrong by not having a clear discussion with my girlfriend. And those who were saying my niece should not be sleeping with us. Instead, I should have got her own bed or stay with until she falls asleep. I already tried that. Initially, she was sleeping alone, but she would wake up at night and I had to go to her and console her. She started sleeping with us because she was constantly afraid it's trauma. She's only 14. To be honest, I don't care if she is sleeping by my side. She had only one parent. I was just a fill-in. And she lost her parents and she's an orphan now. She can sleep by me as long as it helps her. I think it's too soon to pressure her. I went to my girlfriend and said we need to have an honest and open discussion and decide what we should do next. I apologized to her for not thinking about how she would feel, but I didn't have a choice. I had to bring my niece in. I also have to worry about all the legal paperworks, her school, my brother's assets, and other paperworks. My girlfriend said she doesn't want my niece to live with us and she has tolerated it for long enough. I said I understand, but it's kind of unfair that you would be so cruel to a child. And I expected that my partner to help me when I am going through so much legal work and care for my niece. And work, I wanted your support. She said she will support me, but she doesn't want to live with a 14-year-old and care for her. Either I choose my niece or her. I explained to her that I understand your frustration, and as much as I want to choose you, I cannot. You already know that I also have raised her, and now she has lost her father. Only I can help her. She has nowhere else to go except my old parents, but they can barely help themselves. She started crying and said I am not her first priority. I said I am sorry, but I have no choice. I have been in her life ever since she was born. Not only am I attached to her, I am also related to her by blood. Now that her father is no more, she's mine and I have become a parent. It's difficult, but I have no other choice. My girlfriend packed her bag and she left before leaving. She said we should take our time and think this through and see if we can overcome this. We both decided that we will stay in contact and discuss in future. When my niece came back from school, she asked where my girlfriend is. I said she went to her parents. My niece started crying and started blaming herself. She said she is the reason why my life is falling apart and she doesn't have any parents. I guess she picked it up after my girlfriend gave her silent treatment. I comforted her and said that it's not her fault, and as long as I am with her, she doesn't have to worry about anything. She's going to stay with me from now on. She calmed down and I took her out to her favorite restaurant. But I don't feel good at all. I am happy that I choose my niece over everything else. But I also lost my love, which makes me so effing angry and sad. Comment A. Hard decisions, but I think you made the best one you could for your niece. Your girlfriend made the one she thought best for herself. Becoming a parent to a 14 years old unexpectedly at your ages would probably break most relationships. Comment B. A breakup is inevitable. You're not compatible in life or circumstances. Please get your niece into therapy as soon as possible. Time to work on getting her out of your bed now. You gloss over it as a non-issue, but I don't think you have thought about the potential harm you're doing and how much it contributed to the issue of your ex. It's creating a codependency that won't resolve and putting you at risk for removal. You're now essentially a single man. A 14-year-old girl in your bed is a risk. It doesn't matter to child protection that you're just helping her with her trauma, but they will only hear a single man with a vulnerable teen in his bed, rubbing her to calm her, and she will be removed, adding to her trauma. You know it's innocent, but one report and you're doomed. Either work on transitioning to her room, with you staying on the floor, or talk to her about how to make her room feel safe but get her out of your bed. Comment C. First of all, very sorry to hear about your brother. Your breakup with your girlfriend is inevitable because at the end of day, as you said, your niece is your priority. Given the circumstances, she should be your number one priority. You have every right to be sad about the breakup, but I don't think you are justified to be angry at your girlfriend. She did not sign up to be a stepmom, and being a stepmom is a huge life event and certainly can be a deal breaker for a relationship. It's absurd to say she's trash because she didn't just accept this. She made a responsible decision, as you did. It's a very unfortunate situation. Comment D. I wouldn't say your girlfriend is trash, but how can you say she's your love if she expects you to kick your 14-year-old niece out after this horrific and traumatizing situation? What kind of love could she really have for you to be so cruel? I get wanting to have her bed back, but to give this child the silent treatment enough for her to know she's not wanted is heartless given what's happening. It's like she's kicking your niece while she's down. This could really affect her self-esteem. You should be livid that someone you love would even make you choose. Take a step back and look at how selfish she's being. Next story. Kicked my family off Amazon plan. So I've been paying for Prime for over 10 years now since I was 17. No one in my family has ever paid a single month, and each of them orders stuff every day. I haven't really minded until I started crunching numbers and seen the accumulation total. As I seen that total, not a single one of them has ever thanked me or even wondered how they get packages so fast. And it wasn't until last week that I ordered some condoms and contraceptive pills that one of them made a remark while I visited, "Oh, so when were you going to tell us you got your GF pregnant?" The amount of shame and embarrassment soared within a second, almost made my blood boil. I have no idea how someone can say that to my face and think it was totally okay. Me being the super nice and calm guy, I just laughed it off and said today, that has stuck with me for so long, and I finally decided to change my password and not tell them the new code. All of them are asking for the code and the person who said that statement to me. I simply said, "You have invaded my privacy and no one has ever asked to help with the payments. Get your own account." It's been a few hours and no response. Starting to feel bad about it, but I felt like it had to be done. Am I the a-hole here? Comment A. Not the a-hole, they can always get their own membership. Do any of your family pay for anything regular for you, such as insurance, phone, other memberships? Nope, I moved out a few years ago and am completely on my own. When I moved out, I stopped paying for everyone's phones too. This was the last thing I was still intertwined with. Comment B. Not the a-hole. You've been generous for over a decade, paying for something your whole family has benefited from without any thanks or contributions. Changing the password is a reasonable response, especially after such an embarrassing invasion of your privacy. Their comment about your purchase was inappropriate and crossed a boundary. It's understandable to feel guilty, but you're not in the wrong for setting boundaries. If they value having access to Prime, They can get their own accounts or offer to chip in. Generosity is great, but it should be appreciated, not taken for granted. You did what you needed to do for your peace of mind. Comment C. Honestly, I don't blame you at all. You've been paying for it for years and they've never even acknowledged it, let alone offered to help. Then that comment about your girlfriend. Totally out of line. It's your account, your money, and your privacy. They've taken advantage of your kindness, and you've finally set a boundary. If they can't respect that, then they can deal with getting their own prime. You're not the a-hole here. Comment D. They shouldn't have been an a-hole about it if they wanted you to do them a favor. Invading your privacy like that was extremely rude. You buy contraceptive pills for your girlfriend on Amazon? I didn't know you could do that. Can you still use your insurance? Yes, you can buy Plan B and a bunch of other generic ones for much cheaper. No insurance or anything like that needed. Not sure about running it through insurance, as the ones I got were only $8 a pill. Comment E. Your family doesn't seem very bright. Why would you be purchasing contraception if your girlfriend is pregnant? That was out of line regardless, especially considering they're invading the privacy of the person who's paying for their prime services. Definitely not the bum. Next story. Am I the a-hole here for canceling New Year's Eve at my house after the Christmas we just had? This year as a family, we decided that I, 30 male, would host New Year's Eve for my family, which includes my mom, dad, sister, 35 female, and my other sister, 33 female. Both of their husbands and 5 kids ages 5, 6, 8, 9, 11. And my sister, who is 33, would host Christmas. Well, this year Christmas was a disaster in my opinion. We arrive at her house around 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and for the most part, everything is normal. We sew in a second round of presents, play some board games, and start to get ready for dinner. Now my sister is an actress, community theater. She is actually a barista. And apparently she is trying to let her children 8, 9, 11 act to their heart desire. Apparently their favorite show is that out-of-control Netflix show, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. So right before dinner time, the 3 kids start loudly acting out the sketches from the show. First, they do the one with the 2 guys who do the pranks on the toilets. So these 3 kids are jumping and screaming and pulling out toilet water from the bathroom and splashing it on the floor. I think this is insane, and so do my parents. But my sister is encouraging it. Next, it gets even worse. One of them starts to shovel food into their mouths, just screaming, "Where is all the food going? Who is eating all the food?" At this point, there is food everywhere, and dinner is ruined. The only people laughing are my sister and the kids. Since all the food is thrown about, and there is toilet water on the rest of it, we end up having to order pizza. The holiday was ruined. She says this is hilarious, and she is trying to get them to act like this more and more to make a career out of comedy. I tell my sister at this point New Year's Eve is going to be adults only, or she and her comedy troupe can't come. She freaks out and says I'm being insane. I truly just don't want my house ruined. Am I the a-hole here for making this couch for New Year's Eve? Comment A. Not the a-hole. I wouldn't have your sister and her kids in my house either. Right. I just know they are going to try for a second performance. Comment B. Lay down the law. This behavior will not be tolerated at my house, ever, and I will not come to your house to experience this behavior. Sit back and watch the fireworks. Not the a-hole. Ha ha. But then she will be upset, and maybe that would be worse. But then again, I wouldn't be threatened with toilet food. Comment C. Not the a-hole. Not only is that behavior insane, but your sister encourages it. I wouldn't trust them in my home at any time. What do your parents and other sibling think? They were also all disgusted. I think that show is hilarious, but living it is a nightmare. Okay, but what do they think about excluding the kids? They side with my sister. They have always thought I should discipline them for her. Tell them that you're not comfortable disciplining children, but you'd be happy to discipline your sister, since they failed to do so as her parents. I agree, but it's hard when it's her house. That's why I said not in my house. Comment D. Yeah, no. Go out on New Year's Eve in case they come over anyway. Haha, I love this. Just change the locks and leave. Comment E. Not the a-hole. I really love that show. But if someone trashed my housing reenacting the sketches, I'd be super pissed off.